9 of 12 meetings in our calendar year. Let's stand and say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will now cite the civility pledge. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of our town. Roll call. All members are here except for Mayor Green, and please keep her in your thoughts and prayers as her husband is in the hospital. So let's all remember that.
Might also add, I believe today is their 43rd wedding anniversary. Is it 50? I'm sorry, 53rd. Yeah, 53rd.
All right. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda of the August agenda.
Richard Goodrich.
Good.
Second.
Second, the had a motion.
I motion in a second. Thank you.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next thing on our list is approval of the previous meeting minutes. On August 7th, 2025, Administrative Committee, public hearing and regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Discussion. There needs to be some corrections to the regular meeting minutes. We get to. Let's see. One of the speakers, was Tyrone Venable. He is Miss.
Sharon, can you speak up?
One of the speakers was Tyrone Venable, my neighbor. I was trying to talk him on these.
We can hear you. And can you put the microphone, please?
One of the speakers was my neighbor Tyrone Venable. And I'm trying to find where the public comments were. Here.
Was he listed as Bill Tyler?
Correct.
That was an error. We were listening to the recording and to also our notes, and we couldn't quite make out.
Yeah, it's TYROND, I believe now. And Venable, VENABLE, was the speaker. And also, when you got to the section where I made comments, there are no page numbers here, nor are they labeled, but let me look and see. That was
underneath Bill Tyler's.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Under.
Okay, Bill Tyler, stay right here. So right under where Bill Tyler should have been Tyrone Venable, where it starts off, council member Kent Browser responded to public comment. Let's see. To find exactly what this one was. About halfway through through that, discussion, it makes reference to the Nebo Church and then subsequently the Nebo Development Trail, which should say Nebo Development Track. And, let's see, then also, I spoke to, near the bottom of the page, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth sentence up from the bottom of that paragraph, excuse me. The South Carolina Supreme Court Chief Justice's name is Finney, Finney. And, those are the corrections that I noted that needed to be made. So I would, is a motion necessary for that?
Yeah, motion.
I make a motion that we amend the minutes to reflect those corrections.
Second.
Call for the vote for discussion.
Any discussion? Properly, motion was properly made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And then we need to vote on the meeting minutes as,
Administrative, well, we have administrative committee meeting minutes, public hearing minutes, and the regular meeting minutes. We're voting on all three.
As amended.
With the amendment.
Call for the vote.
Did we have a vote?
yes,
Yes.
Councilman McNeil moves to approve the meeting minutes pending confirmation.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of the previous financial statements. Was to approve.
Second,
Any discussion?
Yeah. Thank you. With this, addendum, I guess this profit and loss addendum. That's a huge step forward. I'm really thankful to see that. But there's more that probably needs to be done, in my opinion. I'll address that when we get to council, comments. But, that's big. But I do have some questions just on a personal, the town of Omaha financial statement for July 2025. Under the last item, Synovus Bank savings balance, there's a reserve water account, CDBG available funds, special events account, water construction account, and Omaha Municipal Park. I guess that's a account, or these are all separate accounts, I assume.
Yes, these are all the reserve accounts.
Okay,
CDBG is listed as the ones where we get the reimbursement for.
right. Those, I'm familiar with. What I'm not exactly familiar with is the water, the reserve water account. Can you tell me what that is?
The second line item, the
Yeah.
reserve account, that is. I don't know how many years ago or when it was set up, but the council set these reserve accounts up as, it's my interpretation as kind of like your rainy day fund accounts.
Okay.
So this would be for when you're looking at the budget and you're looking at the line item for reserves of moving it into the reserve, you're moving it into those specific reserve accounts.
Okay, and I assume, well, we'll get to that.
The difference between the two is the water construction account, I believe, was set up when the town got the USDA grants to build the water system, so there's a rural water construction account, that's the label, and then the reserve water account for the daily operations.
And is that also like a rainy day fund? it doesn't seem like you could do a whole lot with roughly $8,000, in the way of construction, but are those things that are reflected in the budget
Yes,
as line items?
yes,
Okay. The special events account,
yes.
can you tell me what that is?
I believe that was set up when the town had the crab festival. It was separating those from the general fund, and that fund has not been touched. So like when the
So-
town hosts the larger events that would come out of that special event, that is reflected in.
So are also the things like the little smaller stuff, like the Easter egg hunt, the parade, or other things
The
like
Easter
that
egg
in
hunt?
that account too?
The Easter egg hunt and the parade come out of the general account, not the special events.
Okay. I remember we had some discussion that it would be a good idea to kind of establish those as their own games. But we can do that, address that later. So that, and the Palm Municipal Park Fund of roughly $51,000 there, that is, left over from after the dirt mining ceased.
Yes.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Moving on. Allendale Fire Department?
Good evening. So quite a few things I wanted to discuss. Most recently, so this month right here, well, it'll be 4 years since I've been here. And as the fire chief, every year this time, I do an analyst check with my data analyst and also my records management systems coordinator. And we look at the numbers to see how many calls that we're running and how it affects us. And so right now, we realize that within the last year, we've been increasing on calls 10% each month. That's a significant number of calls for this particular area. For those who are familiar with the community, you know, we may have had 1 or 2 calls every 2 or 3 days. Nowadays, we're averaging about 8 to 10 calls every 24 hours. And so, and that's because of, you know, the growth that we're having here and also the commute between 2 major cities, Myrtle Beach and also Charleston. One thing about it is it's not gonna go down. It's either gonna continue to rise, it's gonna stay constant. And our prediction is it's going to continue to rise. This past month right here, now, and let me say this, not only are we running a significant amount of calls, but the calls are very significant, like structure fires, rollovers with the traffic, lost people, gas leaks. We had 3 gas leaks this past month. So we ran 141 calls total this month right here alone. From 9/5/24 to 9/5 or today, we've run 700 medical calls throughout the whole year. That's a 27% increase compared to what we were running when I first walked into it. And this affects us simply because as the community grows, the fire department needs to stay consistent with the growth of the community. And so, you know, we need to continue to add on staffing, which of course we've been successful. Since I've been here, we've added on 9 persons since the last time, which was a decade and a half ago. However, that's still not meeting the national standard that we need to be in. So not only that, but we need to build more stations, add more fire trucks. Yes, we've been successful on purchasing 4 new fire trucks. We won't get those until late 2027, early 2028 because of supply chain demand, COVID-19. So our equipment is out of date. We're still trying to keep up with what's going on with what we have right now. And so, you know, we urge the community to, you know, reach out to your local representative and talk about how the county can help better fund and support the fire department. Simply to keep up with the growth here in the community. Calls, not only are we running more calls, but we're getting, in our world, we're getting multiple calls within 30 seconds to a minute and a half of piece from one another. That's unusual for this area because of the growth. So growth is good, but also too, we want to be consistent with the growth as well. As you all know, and I saw the flyers, I bought some more. We are preparing for the first annual Joint Preparedness Expo. That's next Wednesday. It's going to be held at the Berkeley Electric Co-op from 5 o'clock to 8:30. The town of Allendale and also the town of McClellanville have joined together. Fire department to host this expo. We have flyers in the back. We have vendors from all over coming in. We also have other agencies. We're going to do certain things like teach. My staff is going to teach hands-only CPR to the community, which is a plus because that's something that we just recently discovered that we need to share with the community and do more often. So we're going to kick off our CPR initiative at the festival. And we have some great speakers. Rob Fowler is going to be there. He's going to do live remotes because this is something significant. As I stated last month, it seems like all storms love the Bulls Bay area between Bulls Bay and Columbus. So what a perfect place to have this expo. It's never too late. Wish we thought about this a long time ago. But thanks to great leadership that you have representing you on a daily basis and the mayor, they decided to come together and make this thing happen. So we're excited about it. We're looking forward to doing this and making great things happen. Along with our CPR initiative, pretty soon within the next couple of weeks, we're going to post up dates to teach the community CPR for free. And we're going to try and do this to be consistent upon this every 3 months. It's important for everyone to know, set CPR and how to start CPR while you're down on one you call for us. So, any questions?
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify, you said you had 700 medical calls over the past year.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of those are someone's having chest pains, you go to their house? How many of those, or you may not know, have to do with like a vehicle?
So vehicle incidents and medical calls are
They're
totally
different, okay.
Totally different.
So do you know how many calls were specific to vehicle, or was that one of these other numbers?
Oh, no, ma'am, I can get those numbers for you.
No need,
Yeah.
I was just, if you had them off the top of your head,
Okay,
I was just
yes, ma'am.
curious.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll do
Okay, but you feel like there's a significant increase,
that. Oh, the numbers.
I mean,
There's a significant.
driven by several times y'all been admitting those
Yes, ma'am.
vehicular victims.
Oh, yes. And so the numbers have shown that, there's a significant amount of traffic coming through. And so there's a significant increase on wrecks, whether they're fender benders or even rollovers with the traffics. Most recently, we had someone, shoot across, Steve Creek in 17 and died, and that was one of 3 fatal accidents in the area within that month, and that was last month. And so we're getting a lot of traffic on the back roads like Steve Creek and Halfway Creek because there's potential growth between the 2 counties, Berkeley County and also Charleston County.
Could you send maybe Catherine if there's been an increase in fatalities and maybe how much of those were vehicular?
Sure.
We're trying to build a case for more SCDOT and condition.
Yeah, not a problem.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
And whatever you have, though.
Sure.
So the fire district has a defined service area and it's completely funded by Charleston County. And actually, everybody that's in the fire district that has a residence pays a tax to the county for that service. So when you say there's been more growth in the area, then that means the taxes are being paid to the county for the fire district, for the people that move here, building houses or whatever. So that's a residential component, but maybe it takes care of itself, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. That would be the ones for like a structured fire or a medical call to house. Then you mentioned the vehicular trips, and of course, those, as you mentioned, are not just necessarily within that service area, of people that live there, in other words. They're going to Charleston, they're going to Myrtle Beach. So there's some increase in that over which neither the town or the county or anybody else so much directly has control over. And they obviously don't pay into that. Is that kind of what you attribute the lack of being able to keep up with that? Because it seems like that the other would kind of pay for itself, or is it just underfunded all the way around?
So the Owens Colonial Fire Department, we're governed by Charleston County, but we're not in the general fund. We live off of the revenues of the citizens here in the district.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
and so-
I know, I pay that tax.
So that's good, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Everybody that owns property
Trust me,
pays that
all of my
tax.
staff, we
And
appreciate that.
it's pretty steep, too,
But
when you
here's-
look at it
here's-
compared to the other.
To answer your question, to your point, we don't know. Therefore, when we don't ask, and we don't have the option or the opportunity to pick and choose who we want to provide service to.
Oh, I understand that,
Anyone in the
but
district-
you see what I'm saying? That more people that are coming in and building houses, there are more people paying that tax that goes into that fire service fund.
And that's why I urge, yes. And to your
So,
point,
so is it, but it sounds like to me that what you're trying to tell us is that that's still not enough money.
And to your point, I'm urging everyone to speak to your representative and perhaps, initiate the process for us to get into the general fund. Therefore, we're covered, there's more funding there from the county instead of living off of the revenues from the people here in the communities, money coming in. So now we're in the general fund and we are able to tap into some of the TIF money or accommodations tax or any type of the sales tax instead of just the revenues here.
Is there any reason that you could think of why they would be reluctant to do that and just keep it at the way it is right now?
Maybe because they don't travel this week. Yeah,
Okay,
maybe they don't come out here too often. Who knows?
and this is the only fire district administered by the county, correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Chief Gaston, you asked if anybody got a question in high order to ask the question.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll bring up the point in Councilman,
Browser,
Bowser to the.
okay.
I appreciate you coming in and speaking because I had an opportunity to speak to the chief recently. And I'd like you, the question is for you to expand so the community understands. Because Browser sounds like he doesn't really understand the financial situation that Charleston County is putting us in when they don't give us the funds, all the funds that is allocated to the town. And I'd like you to speak about how you personally are giving up your own personal vehicle to drive for a county, for a town, this personal vehicle because there's not enough funds.
Yes, sir.
So that you probably need.
Absolutely, yes. To this point, most recently, I gave up my county vehicle. So my staff can have a safe vehicle to respond in to serve you and all the other citizens here in the district, simply because the county failed to support giving us enough funding to purchase command staff vehicles for our battalion chiefs. And so I took it upon myself to drive my own personal vehicle and give up my county vehicle so I can make sure and ensure the safety of my staff in order for them to ensure the safety for you all. And that's what he needs. So,
I'd like for you to address the comment that Darren just made. He made reference to something like, what I understood him to say, it was that the county is collecting our taxes to pay for the fire district, but they're not giving you all of the money that comes from those taxes?
and that's for you as a council member.
No, I mean, is that a true state?
So what I'm saying here is, when I'm answering your question here is, we don't get enough funding to support our
That
needs.
was the question, Chief, respectfully.
Mhm.
Is his statement correct that the county is taking our tax money to pay for this service, but is not giving all of that money to your department to pay for this?
As a Charleston County citizen, Charleston County resident, you pay for a whole lot of tax. You pay taxes for a lot of items that you do not.
I know, but I pay, all of us in here pay a specific amount to Charleston County for the Onondaga-McClellanville Fire District. It is earmarked for that sole source of revenue is earmarked for that service. What that gentleman has represented is the county is not utilizing all of that money to pay for that service. In your knowledge, is that a correct statement? That's easy, that's yes or
It
no.
seems to believe that, yes, if I'm driving my own personal vehicle, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful. If I have to give up my own county vehicle in order to.
That's not the question, it doesn't have to do with that, the question is, do they?
Sir, did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes, he did. Chief.
Okay,
And I'm on there.
does everyone else understand?
Oh, yeah.
Cliff? Okay.
What he needs to do
Mhm.
as a councilman,
Mhm.
contact Johnson County.
Thank you.
Find out if they are giving them the proper allocation. That's something for you to do.
Thank you.
Well, I
You don't have to answer that question.
and I appreciate that, Mr. Catches, but there's been a representation made.
Well,
So
you don't
that's-
know.
But then the proper response from him would be, I don't know.
And again, it's you to find out.
I'll stop, I can tell.
Yeah. You gotta say I'm right as chief, we'll find out. Bring it back to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for your service.
Okay, folks.
Good evening. Good evening, council. Again, my name's Lieutenant Turner of Charleston County Sheriff's Office. I want to say, Sheriff Ritchie got elected, he appointed, 4 of us patrol lieutenants to go to these community meetings, and right now, just the patrol lieutenants go to roughly 13 community meetings each month. This Allendaw by far exceeds any of the other ones as far as citizen participation. Cause we look at the numbers, most of the other meetings, there's like 15, sometimes there's only 2 or 3. So I just wanna say that this community seems to care about itself, and I'll give them that. And as far as the chief goes, one thing that I know that is also causing fire calls to go up is we have a new, it's really a countywide protocol for, especially with missing persons. Anytime that the sheriff's office receives a missing person call, we activate county rescue. There's a county has an emergency department, and they call county rescue, which activates the local fire department. So every time we have a missing person, we have several units of the fire department coming just to help with search, rescue, and I've noticed that is an uptick, and that's just something fairly new countywide. It's not just on and off. I go to down south, St. John's, West Ashley, everybody's coming out now, and that's more resources being deployed, we had one at the Windward Farms not too long ago where we were on scene, and there's only 3 deputies in this area usually on a good day. And the fire department was one that found the kid that was hiding in the house. So I do want to acknowledge that we're trying to work together, and that's probably one of the things that he's talking about increased calls. As far as service calls, some of the biggest ones, some of the numbers are jumping out, just last month, 31 911 hangups, 16 accidents. 1 auto break-in, so I guess that one's good, 1 assault. 1 DUI arrest. The big one is the 406 patrol logs. 119 traffic stops, and that's just the incidences within all in all. That's really all. And the other thing I just want to pass on as information. Beginning of this month, South Carolina enacted a
distracted driving hands-free law. So now it's illegal to hold your phone in any way while driving. For the first 6 months, it's just a warning, but after that, it's $100 ticket for first offense and $200 ticket for subsequent offenses. South Carolina is either the last or second to last in the nation to actually enact a law like this. And I'm guessing they only did it because federal highway fund stuff are attached to things like that. Like when they changed it from DUI from 0.10 to 0.08, we were one of the last ones to follow suit with that because we were about to lose federal highway dollars. So, but that is something that's in effect. So just here, I probably saw a dozen going from Mount Pleasant to here, at least a dozen people swerving with their phones in their hands trying to do stuff. And now on people started getting pulled over, and then after February, then it'll actually be issued citations. So just for the first 6 months, it would be warning, don't think. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
What was the statistic you gave before the 119 traffic stops? Was that?
Just traffic stops for various violations, probably most of them were speeding.
No, what was the statistic you gave right before that?
406 patrol.
Oh, patrol.
Patrol, and that's just people who patrol,
Yeah.
you guys drive.
If you drive down Seaweed Road, you just log that, and it just shows that we've been in different areas of the county. It's the way that we track it.
And the 119 traffic stops are separate from the 16 accident.
Yes.
Any other question?
Anybody else? Anybody have a question? Yes.
ATVs on City Road, is it legal?
Legal, yeah, right, you're gonna see me.
ATV?
Oh, 8, the beacon wheel.
No. ATV,
No, you're not supposed to be on.
we need to pick up that patrol, because they're out there, they're driving down the left-hand lane instead of the right-hand lane, they're all over the place.
All right, I know we were out there last couple of months of speeding. We were there in traffic, they didn't do anything. And we can put that on as a particular time of day.
Yeah.
Like your son, they'll be going now, I don't know what you're doing.
Because I think James brought it.
Yeah.
That's your ATV on the side. Yeah, that's James Thunder about it. But anyway, they're children to young adults. They do not wear helmets, but they are driving down the left-hand lane. With double yellow lines going around, I'm telling you, they're going to get hurt. I don't want any harm, I just. I want them to be protected. It's the middle of the day, I mean, yeah. I've never seen them at night.
All right, pass it on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I got a question. Yes.
What about the bicycle ride in Saturday morning, the whole lane long?
Well, we're not supposed to have only lane, right? Everyone thinks that, but they're supposed to leave about 30 cars from that. They're only supposed to ride 2 abreast, they're not supposed to. You know. Saturday morning, if you see it, give us a call.
Like, show them call next time I see them.
You're up. All Municipal Park Foundation, board.
Oh, sorry. Hi, good evening. I was unable to be here last month. Apologies for that. I have two updates. One are our final P and Ls from the office. It's my understanding there are two sponsorship checks that are being picked up Monday from town hall, and then that should conclude the final P and Ls. And the other one is an update on our gates and our fencing. Some board members and I are working on those quotes. We will be presenting those to our park board at our regularly scheduled meeting this Tuesday the 9th. I'll have those for you and
Nothing in particular. I was told there was some kind of confusion or like disconnect from council to our rules. I was just curious if we didn't clear that up or where that was all about. Everybody's feelings, whoever said it.
I would like our town attorney to address the most recent special meeting. It appears that there wasn't a proper forum for that special call meeting.
we will list the clarification there.
And it also appears that the agenda was not entirely transparent either. That it included an item on there with respect to discussion of appointments to the park board. And actually, there was from what I understand, a vote was taken, which the agenda did not reflect a vote. It reflected merely a discussion, which is popular.
I think it was you, we understand you are the last vote, but we made a recommendation, so it wasn't a vote on who. It's a vote on who we recommend.
Please let me finish.
Sure, go for it.
Thank you. A discussion is just talking about something. A recommendation involves an action. It's an action item. It's what we do. It's when you make a motion. If the motion gets a second, then you have discussion, and then you vote. And then whatever the vote is, if the vote is in favor of the motion passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So if there's no second, it just does. There are two different things. The agenda only reflected discussion. It did not discuss an action item of a vote to be taken. And that's one aspect of it. But it appears that the meeting is not properly constituted with a legitimate quorum. Therefore, it's not a legitimate meeting. And then any of the actions that transpired during the meeting were null and void. Did you address that, please?
Yeah, and to be clear, I hadn't seen the agenda on the who at the meeting, how many people, but typically in order for a body to have a meeting and to act at a meeting, we gotta have a quorum of members present, which is typically a majority of the members of that body. I don't know how many people were there.
I actually have a question on that. So we
Yeah.
currently have 7 members and so a quorum is 4 and there were 4 members there. There's 2 vacancies, so we were acting on the current active members, so there's 7 active members, only 4 of them there. So that is to me, that's a quorum, and so if that
There's
was,
only 7 active, there's only 7 members currently sitting, then that would be the case.
Well, wait. The board has adopted Robert's rules. Correct?
yes,
Robert's rules of order states that unless there's anything to the contrary, a quorum constitutes a majority of all of the members.
She's saying there's 2 people, there's 2 motion spots.
All of the members, it doesn't say active members, it says all members.
No.
So 9 people, a
Well,
quorum of 9.
we received 2 resignation letters. Well,
Still speak.
well, you're incorrect, that's what I'm saying, we received 2 resignation letters.
I'm still speaking. Thank you. I'm aware it's superseded, don't you? And there are only 7 active members currently, because 2 have resigned. That is not in dispute. What is in dispute is that a quorum is constituted of a majority of the entire membership, not just active members.
I have to look at Robert's rules, but to me,
Well-
the concern I would have is if people resign, the body could never meet until there were new appointments. Where and
No,
somehow,
that's not the case at all. It just means you have to have a form of the members of the.
Folks, we're gonna have to ask you to keep it down out there, or we're conducting a meeting.
Which is 9 members, a quorum of 9. Total membership is 5. It's not active members. It could be if they adopted that as their rule. If they can adopt with Robert's rules, and in the absence of anything to the contrary, the default in Robert's rules is a majority of the entire membership.
that is a problem for us. So
Okay, so that's correct. The meeting was not profit. And any actions taken during the meeting are not that.
I'd have to look into it more, but I agree with you that Robert's rule says a quorum is the majority of the members of the body.
So, I guess you can look into it further, but I don't.
So for the sake of moving on, you're gonna look into that to. And come back with us, come back to us with. Chicken on that issue. Well, I guess my follow-up question to that would be, so based on the original membership, it was 8, you got moved to 9. So where does that stand? So technically, originally,
No, I'm sorry, you're in error with that. The ordinance that is the controlling authority that established the board specifies 9 members. It never said 8. All right, the signed ordinance that the town adopted is for 9.
So-
Was that
so
correct?
you guys were they just was done incorrectly initially, is what we're.
Yes, it was not a properly called meeting, but there was not. a
No, I'm not
proper
talking about
forum.
me specifically.
So any action that was conducted during that meeting is now in board with no effect.
So we think, until we listen up.
Well, yes, okay, we'll get that. And then the other aspect about the published agenda, it did not speak to any type of action. It said discussion. And as I said, discussion is talking about an item. An action item you vote on, it didn't have anything about that. So it was not entirely transparent about what was going to happen. That's what it is. We're all about transparency.
Really, the default rule under Robert's rules is that a quorum is a majority of the members, and it's only if the bylaws or the rules of the organization exclude vacancies. But otherwise, the quorum remains the same. under the default.
We would need 5 members.
Yes,
That was my-
to take formal action.
That was my fault.
If you don't want, why didn't you look it up or contact legal counsel?
Because whenever I've had vacancies leave throughout my 10-year career, it has always been to the current members present on the board. It has never been.
I just did a Google search and I came up with exactly what you did. That could have been done too, but apparently it wasn't.
Okay.
All right, we move on. Thanks.
So y'all are meeting this week.
Tuesday, yes, that's our regular scheduled meeting.
So why did y'all have a special? And maybe that's where we all need to get
To get our
together.
input on who we think should go on our board,
Well,
because you guys assigned us to be.
Okay, but
there was discussion on subcommittees, which did need to get done. That had got postponed from the August meeting.
from the August meeting.
Yes,
And it couldn't wait until next week.
I mean, it could have, but we moved forward with it because we were trying to make progress.
Okay.
And then there was some grant discussions that Catherine had researched, and then the vice chair had asked for the park applications. And to discuss potential applicants.
Right. I'm not sure that's within the purview of what y'all are supposed to be doing.
I would say. it's
Mainly because you've been given a luxury that planning and BZA was not given. I agree with that. If you want to make a recommendation, I mean, you can probably do that as a private citizen, I guess. Mac, I don't know if you can give us any clarification on do boards and commissions. I guess because when we did it last year, people applied, we voted. They were sworn, are they sworn in?
No.
Or they're just sat, I mean, they're just sat on the board, but is that appropriate? How is that vetted
It
as far
depends on
as?
like the language of the ordinance, so like planning commission is a creature of statute. And under the statute, the planning commission makes recommendations to council on zoning ordinances and those sort of things. Depends on what the park board's like ordinance that created the board says this, I don't have it in front of me, but they may have the authority to make recommendations if that's what the ordinance says.
I mean, the only thing that I could find is under section 154.0 number 3, and it simply says applications shall be reviewed and approved by town council.
So, in your opinion, is it appropriate for that to occur, that board members receive applications for their own membership that would be a vote on?
Again, it sounds like based on that document really doesn't matter because town council has the ultimate say.
But is it appropriate for them to do that? Or is it a good practice to do that? And even further, let me ask this,
Well,
if the town,
probably a waste of time because ultimately town council has the authority to appoint them first.
right, but that if the town decided that they thought it was a good thing, they could adopt it and say,
Or amend the ordinance.
that's what we want this at. And likewise, if we didn't think it was a good thing, we could include provisions in our agriculture that would be prohibited, correct? Would that be in our legitimate scope of authority to do that? Yes. That's good to know. And likewise with staff representatives, making formal recommendations for appointing to the boards and commissions.
So you're talking about, so
If employees, town employees making the written recommendations in the capacity of their employment, recommending the appointment of certain people to boards and commissions. Is that appropriate? Or is that free speech?
I have to get more detail.
Okay, well, again, though, and would you please, that if the town thought that was a good thing to do, we could clarify it, so there's absolutely no confusion. Yes, we think that's good, we want you to do that. And conversely, if we did think that was a good idea, we could say, no, we don't want you to do that. Would that be within?
That is within your purview.
Okay, thank you for that.
Can I share some? According to Google, under Robert's Rules of Order newly revised, a quorum is based on the number of members in the group, not including vacant seats. Specifically, a quorum for a committee or board is the majority of its members, not its total number of authorized positions. We are bringing this thing, this is ridiculous. People have a limited amount of energy and time to put into a very worthy task and cause. And we have a situation where they're having to dig in and understand Robert's rules and nobody does, because I just read contradiction to your point.
Respectfully speaking, we're just trying to get shit done. We're trying to get things done.
Thank you.
That's all we can do.
Anything else from you?
No, but I am gonna push back a little bit, Paul. I totally respect y'all's time. Y'all are citizens. You're probably getting a lot more criticism than you are praised for your efforts. And I guess that's the concern. If the time is, why are we calling a special meeting when you're meeting on Tuesday? And so that was the confusion. And because this has sort of stumbled along the first 6 months, we thought we were constituted, all that's water under the bridge at this point. But I also think there's some confusion of maybe some expectations, like the way I read the ordinance, you guys should come to us and say, for next year, our project is this. I'm gonna use your example of benches. The following year, we would like to fund shelters, and you let us know, how often do you think the park needs to be mowed? Okay, well, we need to take that into account when we go into, budget retreat. And so this is not a slap your hand moment. This is the fact that we probably have not set the proper expectations of like, this is what we hope, the information we hope to get from you guys. That would be where your recommendations would come in. And then Catherine would help us, okay, we have a grant that is gonna give us a lot of leeway to pay for benches. Guess what? We have enough money. We can do benches and a shelter. Great, let's move forward with that. And so I think that's what we were hoping to do. And it was my suggestion, maybe all council, all park board, have a meeting, can get together and you kind of tell us where you stumbled. We can work through the ordinance with you. We can make adjustments to the ordinance to help better support you, because you are citizens and we do value your time and your input.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of what we were trying to get there. We haven't gotten to where we want to be, and that's why the special meeting, because, you know, we're trying to get people assigned to what we think, you know, how we would fit. So we can come to you guys with comprehensive plans, but we don't have that yet. So that's why we're trying to get everything done and up and running really before next year starts. So going into Q4, we kind of want to have things rolling. So that's kind of what the special meeting was. We wanted to come together and discuss subcommittees, and then I also thought that maybe we should give council a recommendation. We used a couple of resumes that was wrong. We apologize. We're just trying to be productive because we are capable human beings. We can get things done. If you guys assign us to be this role, so that's what we're doing. But if we need to clear this up, we'll take a step back and we'll clear it up like that. But Ashley works really hard, and I'm trying to, we're just trying to get it done.
Well, and just to help add on to that, we of course want your recommendations, but then there might be something else that we're interested in seeing at the park. And so just so that you don't feel like you're spinning your wheels, like we put all this work in, we put together this comprehensive plan and now they've gone off on some tangent.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good time for both sets to sit down and like, let's come up with a great plan for the park and a timeline.
Yeah.
For, if I know at this point, like, can't wait for dates and times.
Yes.
So, can't wait to hear that at the next meeting. So, Catherine, you can maybe reach out to Ashley, and maybe they can get a consensus on what works for them. As
We
far
can
as,
discuss it at the next park board meeting on Tuesday.
okay.
Anything else?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, we have Desiree Rogoso.
Good job. Good evening, everyone, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, Mac, such a lovely to see you. I used to work with Mac at the, my previous job was the city administrator for the city of Isle Palms. I was there for about 10 years. And just this January, we joined the Municipal Association as the new field service manager for the Low Country. So I cover about 93 cities and towns from Aiken all the way down to Beaufort. You're familiar with what the association does. I was very encouraged to hear you all talk about the civility pledge. As you all know, that's a big priority for the association for the past couple of years. Something that we want to remind everybody, you know, we deal with a lot of very emotional and passionate issues, but keeping civility at top of mind, I think is something that your citizens would certainly appreciate, and something that we want to remind everybody of. I just wanted to come here and say hi, put a face to the name, know that for you all to know that we're available, we're here to support. I'm your liaison, so any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. I told Catherine that I'm out of business cards as of this week, but I'm picking up more on Monday when I go to Columbia. I'm based in Charleston, live in Charleston, so I'm close by anytime that y'all need any assistance with anything, any questions, concerns. Anything that we can do to help, I always encourage you all to reach out to us before a bigger problem comes up. So, any questions?
I have a question. When I came on board, there was a course, a class that Ashley, who was your predecessor, did here for us. It's a class that's also available through the organization. I forget what it was, it's something like, so you're elected, now what?
Yes.
It covers
things that concern Kent. You know, how do we meet and how do we not meet? And how do we communicate? Things like that. And we have some new people coming on some of our subcommittees. Can we coordinate to have some training done?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that, that's what some of what we do as well, just meet with new council members, kind of give them a little bit of the lay of the land of, you know, what do you do now and some of the. Statutory requirements, right? I mean, there's a lot that is required under state law and folks don't fully understand that, that's where we're here to help. So I'd be happy to do that once you all get new members elected, can meet with them, can meet with all the council. You know, we do, there's also the Municipal Elected Officials Institute that's available to all members of council. You take a couple classes throughout the year and there's some options for virtual meetings as well, virtual training as well. Yeah, let me know if there's a particular topic that you all wanna cover that you think that you may need some help with, I'd be happy to come and help facilitate that.
Beginner team members.
There you go, 101.
Yeah.
Happy to do that. I do wanna put in your radar, we are conducting regional advocacy meetings this month in October. The one that's going to be closest to you all is going to be October 14th in North Charleston. So that's our effort and to hear from our municipal officials, staff about policy priorities that you all want the association to focus on for the next legislative session that starts next January. So please put that in your calendar. I think that the deadline to register for that is going to be September 26th. We usually offer lunch, so it's a couple of hours, and we're certainly looking forward to hearing from you all about what are the issues that are impacting Owendo and how we can help advocate and bring about change in Columbia. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Derek Brown.
The council, your pro tem in the absence of our honorable maid of green and her absence in her time of being with her husband. I came here tonight with one topic and when Chief Gaston got up and made a statement about his concern for the community and having enough funding for the community to take care of our community. I honestly want to speak directly to Councilman Browser. What I would like for you to do is to stand by your team. And so I consider as a citizen, Chief Gadsden to be your team, our team. The reason I know Chief Gadsden is because when I first moved back here to take care of my mother with Alzheimer's, I immediately called the fire department because I read in an article that Chief Gadsden, someone that I knew from Wando High School, was the chief. I could call on him to get fire detectors in my home. 2 days later, the three men came in and decorated my entire home with those fire safety equipment. I saw him at the outpost. Is that where everybody needs that? Because I'm from Charlotte. I moved from here a long time ago. So I'm back here to see a town that it's disheartening. And what you attempted to do to Chief Gadsden, and don't look at me like that, he can't get into the semantics of what's going on in Charleston County. I am coming to you all to make a stance and find out what's going on with the budget. He didn't stand up here, the educated man he is, father, the senior battalion chief of the fire department in Mount Pleasant, well qualified for this job to say that there's a lack of funding. And for this man, for me to see him at Outpost, I said, hey, what's going on? This is my office is right up the street. If you ever need anything, I said, well, where's the chief car? Because I love the cars. I'm driving my own personal car because I gave up my vehicle so that my commanding chiefs can have vehicles, because I have cars that's over 200,000 miles, 10 years old, and I want them to be safe. I took the stance to drive my own vehicle because the county was not giving them the funds. Now, I happen to have inside, media people that I know, from college. And so the media got involved and mysteriously, actually today, got a call that, oh, we're giving the money over to the fire department of Armandale to supplement the vehicles that he'd asked for months. That's how I came today to ask the council to do more. If we need to do a forensic audit on Charleston County, whatever, not come at him with the question about. The reason we're saying that there's more people coming into the community is a good thing, the taxes, yes. But at the end of the day, if that money is not being funneled back to Armandale, then we need to do something about it. And there was someone from this side of the table that said to you, that's not his role to find out what's going on. It's our council's role to find out what's going on with the funds that's allocated for Armandale that's not being delivered. He didn't just say that he's not got enough funding to handle this department for no reason. Okay, I'm looking at statistics. I don't know how much time y'all just hit the buzzer, but I did some research to give to you all. I'm not an expert at this, and so I just want y'all to do something about it. We're the fire department of Armandale has a $3.7 million budget, right? Okay, give or take. I don't know that all the numbers are right here in Charleston County. St. Paul's Fire Department, a town similar to ours, very much similar, has an $8 million budget. So that should concern our community. Okay, fire and all of the accidents and increased calls, that should concern us. I honestly felt like, and I don't want you to respond for once. Stop going after people with your education and your knowledge and everything, and listen to your community. Amen. Here's the problem, you don't listen. And I dealt with this for 29 years at Wells Fargo Bank. I retired because I had enough. I gotta take care of mom. Gave up a $90,000 a year job to come home to this town, and I'll be doggone if I'm not gonna be a voice and be an advocate for somebody that's gonna be able to take care of my mother if something happens. I don't want the fire department not to be able to get to our house if there's a problem. Okay, so what I would like for someone on this committee, I think you should be the lead, right? Is to go in and find out, is Charleston County giving all the funds to Armandale as they should? In your research, I can guarantee you'll find some discrepancies. I'll give you the reporter that's handled this. Now all of a sudden, there's some more funds that's coming to Armandale. We need to do research. Thank you all for listening.
Would you kindly provide me with the name and contact info for that reporter? And to answer to respond to you, I intend to call our county councilman, Larry Kabrowski, tomorrow with that exact same question.
I'll be back next month to hear the answer.
Thank you.
Or sooner.
Thank you.
That's great.
All right, now it's time for council report. Anyone? Hearing none.
Oh, well, are you gonna talk about the HVAC?
Yeah, she's got.
Okay, or. This came up today, but we finally got the engineer. To update the drawings. Which is something the county required. And they've been submitted to the county, so we're hoping that project. What do you think? A couple weeks, we should have approval. But anyway, we moved,
Sooner rather than later.
we finally have gotten that correct.
Yes, especially because the mayor's not here tonight. As you know, I've been trying to understand settlement communities, heirs properties, historic districts, Gullah Geechee communities, and how we as a town need to serve those people and accommodate and understand. Yesterday. I went to what I thought was gonna be a quick chat with the mayor. And she had lunch provided and we sat here for 2 hours at least. And I had a very good educational experience. There was maybe 8 or 10 people, not just from Allendale, but very familiar with this. I was handed this document. I'm not sure who gave this to me and why.
Mayor Green created that.
Okay, but let me just read to you the closing note on this. The heritage, land, and neighborhoods of our community are our collective responsibility and strength. By investing in education, transparent governance, and deliberate community-centered development, we can safeguard heirs' properties, sustain settlement communities, and honor historic districts for current residents and future generations. This was the closing note of a very robust 6-page document she gave me. So I'm going to continue to advocate that we need to find some way to first understand and then make whatever provisions, accommodations need to be made for these communities. Good.
Anyone else?
Yes, I attended the Municipal Association's Small City Summit in Columbia on Wednesday, August 13th. Learned a good bit about 3 topics.
Can you speak up? I can't even hear you.
And learned about 3 topics that were of interest to me. The first was HR 101 as a human resource foundation for small town leadership. And also strong control, stronger cities, practice approaches to financial management in small municipalities. And out lunch the business side. There's a lot of good information. I'm not time here to really go through all of those, but I will probably have a conversation with Ms. Watkins about various things that I learned that would be benefit to the team. Thank you.
The mayor's report, and she listened to the radio. Administrator report.
Yes, thank you. So, with our HR, with our payroll software, we have with Paychex, they offer what they call HR Pro. So they include like an dedicated HR specialist for us. They'll have an employee assistance program, employee discounts, safety service. They'll also do onboarding. They'll assist with the creation of the HR manual. They'll also have HR trainings for like workplace safety for OSHA, employment laws and regulations, employee classifications. They can assist us with leave of absences, and assist with kind of what you typically think an HR department does. What that means for us is if the council were to decide to go with this, to have an dedicated HR specialist, it would be an increase of, instead of paying around $170 per payroll, you'd be paying $451.88 to have this service, which can be canceled at any time. The one time for the first year, if we decided to go with it, would be an extra $17,249.50. And it would also, part of that cost would include a one-time implementation fee of $3,100. If we were to go down this route, I would have to edit the budget in order to accommodate this. They also include stuff like retirement service and COBRA administration, which is currently administrated through our South Carolina Public Employee Benefits Authority, so our insurance and our retirement.
Can you send us a summary of what it includes with those dollars? And can we vote, make a decision on that next month?
Yes, this is the first time that I'm bringing it up, so I can crunch the numbers and show you what it could look like, but this isn't an immediate.
And is there only one plan available? Or is there like, like bronze, silver, gold?
Not really, because we currently just have the basic plan, and so it's either the HR Pro or not. But I can ask again in case the company has changed.
That it?
That's all I have.
All right.
I have a question though. Where do we stand with the proposed employee handbook?
The employee handbook is still currently under legal review.
Do we anticipate that coming for back to us next month or?
Yes.
Thank
Item 13, town activities. Appointments to the following boards and commissions. Municipal Park Foundation Board, 2 vacancies. For the unexpired terms ending July 2026. Board of Zoning Appeals, 2 appointments. Planning Commission, 2 appointments.
I think since the mayor's not here, we should motion to defer. So that everyone can vote.
Make a motion to defer,
Well, the mayor's not here, but there's also some questions I had for Catherine that
Okay.
like we don't necessarily have nailed down a process of how, there was just some confusion last year. And I think we need to nail down, are we doing voice vote, are we doing ballot vote, what's the legal, like, what's recommended, and I think we just defer, maybe if we need to have a special meeting for the end of the month, that's fine. Or do it in October.
I would also say you have some confusion here tonight.
you. What'd you say?
I said I would also like to state we have some confusion here tonight. Regarding how meetings should flow and go. So
I'll second your motion for the purposes of discussion. Which will allow us to talk about some of these issues and then perhaps add an amendment to that motion with more particulars as to who, when, where, how. So there's a motion and a second. And debate.
you second. But you want to add an amendment to the second.
Not yet, I think we need to have discussion first.
Well, I made my.
Anyone else? I agree with you. I mean, the mayor's out here. Nothing for next month, I mean, if we continue to let Ken have to, we'll be here till midnight.
Well,
There's no, I mean, there's no well, she asked her, and for out of respect, she wants the mayor to be here, so I think you should respect that.
I don't disagree with
Okay, so
you.
there's nothing to debate.
No,
we've
there
been
is.
here
There's a
now.
motion.
We've been here now, hour and 45 minutes, and we just on item 13.
There's a motion on the floor. This thing seconded, the problem protocol is to debate that motion before voting. That's the way it goes. Ms. Helms said she had some concerns. I'd like to hear them. And if.
Which I hope we can just discuss at a specially called meeting, honestly.
So your motion is for a special.
Because I need some clarification from Catherine and Matt about what's the best way to do this. I don't think we need to draw that out tonight. Quite frankly, I think we can have that discussion at a specially called meeting to make these appointments and do it the appropriate way, the transparent way, the fair way, and just make a motion to defer for now.
I agree with that.
I do too, but I would also like to add this aspect.
Folks. Thank you.
We've had issues in the past with this ballot stuff. And we need some advice on how that works, because it hasn't worked as intended to be on, be done, and be told. I prefer a different method of doing it. And I believe it is also entirely appropriate to may have this discussion in executive session about appointments to boards and commissions. That is one of the things that is allowed under the law. Is that correct? That's the way that plays.
But I agree with you on the ballot isn't necessarily the only way, and that's ultimately, that's not like a legal decision, that's a policy decision for council, but you can make nominations with a slate of candidates. So somebody can make a motion to nominate these two candidates to fill the seats on the planning commission, you vote it up or down. If it gets a majority of council, then you don't use the ballot. There's not a specific way that's required to be able to appoint people.
Well, I believe that's exactly why we call for another meeting. So, and to your point, I don't think we need to belabor this, we just need to make that decision to move on.
Isn't, you need to get back to us as to whether or not it's appropriate to have that discussion in executive session, right?
Yeah, that'd be a FOIA,
Excuse me?
FOIA question, yeah.
Or actually to discuss who we want to appoint in executive session, come out of executive session and vote our. Whatever.
But that's gonna be determined for whether you can have a closed meeting.
But you'll tell us that, and if we can, how do we do that between now and the special meetings? It just see,
If you can do that in executive session, which I'm not so sure you can, but if you can, you could do that, have the executive session and then immediately follow the executive session. Have voted.
but obviously it needs to be placed on the agenda.
Correct.
And if that is allowed, is that something we want to do? I do. How's everybody else feel about it?
Are you suggesting an executive session meeting or just an open meeting?
Just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we do go into executive session, I'm just trying to move on. So we can get some clarification from Mac because he hasn't had time to dive into this. And give him the opportunity, he can give feedback to Catherine, he can disseminate that to us. And then we can decide, are we gonna meet in an administrative meeting with an executive session and then vote at the next council, or are we gonna have a special meeting to vote? I'm just wanting to defer for now, because there were other questions that I had and they're not gonna be answered today. In addition to the fact that we won't have all 7 here.
Well, then, can we clarify the motion? Clarify the motion, what is the motion?
Motion to defer.
To defer.
That's it, to defer, no specific date, time, place, no, it's a special meeting or regular council meeting, what will be deferring it?
We're deferring based and waiting.
Because we don't know when the mayor's gonna be available. We don't know what's going on. with
Mayor,
her.
we want to get feedback from council.
So if.
Losing everybody.
Can we just vote to defer? I mean, does it
I
have
don't
to be
think
this?
that's a wise thing to do, Wendy, when you defer, it's just, you just put it out there in space, I think it should be deferred.
Honestly, I would give you the same respect if your spouse was in the hospital to find out, is it gonna be short term or long term?
That has nothing to do with it.
It does, but I can't say when we're gonna meet, because I don't know, is this overnight, is this through
Is
the
it,
weekend?
is it a special meeting or the next scheduled meeting? And maybe the mayor won't be here for the next scheduled meeting, I don't know, nobody does.
Well, I don't have any authority to call any special meetings, that's why I'm deferring.
The motion is on the board to defer. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's already been.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
It's just the front of you.
Would you like me to read before we go for second reading?
Yes, ma'am. The next item on the agenda is number 14. Go ahead.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-25, annexation ordinances, transmission method attached by number 664000059 6136 Carvel Court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed? Thank you. Thank you.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-26, annexation ordinance using a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000058 6148 Cabela Court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-27, annexation ordinance using a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000092 1068 named Southwood.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-28. Annexation ordinance using a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000086 1075 main sale court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-29, annexation ordinances in a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000087 1069 main sale court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-30, annexation ordinance using subdivision method of tax map number 66400000088 1063 main sale court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of 2025-31, annexation ordinances in a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000008 1055 main sale court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-32, annexation ordinance used in a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000091 1048 main sale court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-33, annexation ordinance using a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000002 6320 Roundabout Way.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-34, annexation ordinance using a subdivision method of tax map number 66400000029 6329 Roundabout Way.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-35, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of tax map number 66400000030 6321 Roundabout Way.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of 2025-36, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of tax map number 66400000031 6313 Roundabout Way.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-38, annexation ordinance, oh wait, no, sorry. Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-37, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of 66400000032 6309 Roundabout Way.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of 2025-38, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of 66400000082 6225 Rhode Lane.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Approval
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-39, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of tax map number 66400000102 6268 Rhode Lane.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it.
Approval of second reading of ordinance 2025-40, annexation ordinance using the subdivision method of tax map number 664000051 6221 Jive Court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of first reading of ordinance 2025-41 annexation ordinance using a functional subdivision method of tax map number 66400000061 6147 Gravel Court.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Approval of first reading of ordinance 2025-42, an ordinance of the town of Omaha, South Carolina to amend Title 9. Land usage, chapter 153 zoning code, wetlands and waterways setback divisions. Of the code of the town of Omaha, South Carolina by renaming the division thereof to wetlands protection and repealing the existing section of. Section 153.225 thereto, and adding a new section 153.225, along with new sections 153.226 through 153.239, thereto providing protection of tidal and freshwater wetlands.
Motion approved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
I was gonna say Rico had some good suggestions with the wetlands ordinance, just to make certain things concise or a little more clear, which we'll probably bring up anything just before it comes back to council for second reading for consideration. I thought it was some good feedback though.
Next item is executive session. Since the mayor has requested that we also move on the executive session. So we're throwing out that way for discussion. Will we?
Is there any liability, like something pending we have to respond to?
The first item, I'd like to at least discuss it with y'all. The second item is something that the mayor brought up, and I think that's totally fine and break it out. Is that a time crunch on that one too? Or no?
Okay,
The first item you made me interpret it, so.
can we make a motion to meet an executive session for just that one item since it's.
For that stated purpose,
Since
yes.
it's that is time sensitive. Okay, so I make a motion to go in executive session in accordance with South Carolina Code Section 30-4-70A2 to receive legal advice protected by the attorney-client privilege concerning
The first item.
the vested rights.
Yes.
Okay, the vested rights assertion by developer,
Yep.
period. Okay, and the second item we will defer to another time.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're welcome to hang around outside and come back in when this is over. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Happy birthday.
We are back, everybody. We're ready.
I move.
Already?
Make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Probably move this seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're back on executive session, no votes were taken. Notice, yeah,
Nothing was done, Don.
I don't think, yeah.
Bad decisions made.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Who said that?
They did.
Ryan,
Okay,
Ryan.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.